The hamstrings are one of the strongest muscle groups in the body. They are integral to moving, positioning and stabilizing the hips so that you don't fall down. They're active when you're standing, walking, running. Now, this makes them a potentially tight muscle group. But if they're too tight, it can cause chronic pelvic and spinal alignment problems, which can lead to weakness and pain in the back, but it can also inhibit your yoga practice. I'm Samara, and to help you release your hamstrings, we have with us today Ashwini Bhanat. He comes from a family of yoga teachers and is a dedicated teacher at the Yoga Life Foundation. So Ashwini, can you explain why flexible hamstrings are key to any yoga practice?
If you have flexible hamstring muscles, your forward bending asanas, for example, become much more comfortable. You're not struggling. You can hold the postures much longer. Plus any standing postures, it's avoiding that, there's no distortion of the posture. And many interesting postures, are becoming inaccessible to you when it's not flexible.
Right, of course. Yeah. But don't you also find that sometimes stretching the hamstrings can be a bit like trying to lead a reluctant mule? I mean, the more you yank on it, the harder it will pull back. But if you coax it and make friends with it and treat it right, it will happily follow you, you know what I mean?
Exactly. There lies the key. You go into the posture, you allow the body to calm down and use your breath to relax in the posture.
Absolutely. And I think it's also better to think of freeing your hamstrings rather than stretching them like they were a pair of shoes and they had no intelligence of their own, right? Now, where would you recommend that one begin?
Before beginning, you should always start up with some form of exercises, like sun salutation, any other form of exercise, before you actually attempt any asanas.
Right.
Yeah. And we can start with something like Chakti Chalanasana.
Right.
You can stretch the legs apart. And the thing which is important is that your feet are flexed.
Right.
Right? So your spine is straight, you bring both the hands together, and you move forward clockwise, going as far forward as possible, then to the sides, and then pulling back slightly.
Using your abdominal muscles as well.
True. And then moving in the anti-clockwise direction.
And this is quite a gentle posture, actually.
Yes, and has various benefits also for the pelvis region.
Right. It's called churning the mill in English.
Yes. So let's move on to another asana, which is we lie down on the back. Supt Pad Angushtasana. You bring the arms close to the body. You inhale, you lift your right leg up. Then catch hold on to the right big toe with the right hand. And then try and push the heel up towards the ceiling. And try and focus on the stretch.
Keeping your left thigh on the ground.
Yes, that's very important. And then slowly coming out, releasing the leg. And changing the leg. So you inhale, you lift the left leg up. And then catch hold on to the left big toe with the left hand. Pushing the left heel up, chin slightly towards the chest.
Also, if you don't think that you'll be able to straighten your leg while still grasping your toe, you can always put a strap around your foot. But most importantly, you should remember the reluctant mule image. You need to coax your hamstring to lengthen. Do not fight with it because it won't lengthen then. It will only contract, right?
Right. Let's come up into a standing position.
Okay.
We'll do the pyramid. Standing with the legs apart. Feet pointing towards the same direction. You interlock the fingers from behind. You inhale, go back slightly. As you exhale, you bring the head down. Bringing the head towards the shin. Lifting the arms up from behind. Hold it here for some time. Take a few deep breaths. And then slowly coming up with control. You should be careful that you are not locking the knees.
Right, right. And I also find that another way to relax the muscle is to consciously tighten it and then release. And you'll notice that the hamstring will lengthen.
Exactly.